orders to get in the mail still. But I hope you're all having an awesome day. As I said, this is day 9 of our Maker's Advent calendar, which is a little bag of surprises every single day of Advent. So a crafty Advent calendar rather than a traditional one. So without further ado, well, this is the bag. So if you haven't joined me before or you're just catching us on the replay, what I'm doing is I open the bag, see what's in the bag, see if we're inspired to make a little something something. And yeah, today it's looking like we get some kind of fabric. So yeah, we'll have to see what we get and see if we get any inspiration to make something. And if you do make something, please, I'm loving seeing all your makes on Pam Duthie's Crafty Friends, which I should change the name to Pam Duthie's Crafty Clan, because a clan is what we are. It's a small, small. It's an extended Scottish family, which is what you all are to me. And also because these are products from the makers, don't forget to pop into everyone's maker on Facebook and post them there for chances to win as well. And we just love I say we, I'm not part of the makers, I just buy their stuff. Tobias is in the house. G'day again. Oh, I wonder if this one is green and yellow Brussels sprouts. What an awesome idea. I've never felted a Brussels sprout. I totally think I could though. I love Brussels sprouts. I'm a weirdo. Right, let's open the bag and start getting some inspiration. I'm just looking around going, do I have stuff to make a Brussels sprout? Ooh. Okay, that's not what I expected. So we have a kind of brown, natural, animal-y looking fabric. So let me know in the chat what you think I could make with this. At the minute in time, I have zero inspiration. It is so soft. This is a really nice one. What is this? Oh, I was right. It's not normal. It's camel fiber with mixed wool. Ooh, craft with camel. Could I craft a camel? There's an idea. A really cute. It does say, this gorgeous, the brown of this wool is perfect for robins, owls, or start your nativity with a camel. Could we make a camel from camel? I think we could. Tobias is saying an overboiled Brussels sprout. That's disgusting. But I will keep Brussels sprouts in mind if we don't have any inspiration. I'm thinking a camel is going to happen. Lisa, good morning. And Eric is in the house as well. Hello there. Right. Let's see if we can do this. I still have some of this wire from last week's bag. So what I'm going to do, going to cut to about the lengths my pipe cleaner would go. Serena, hello there. Okay, so I have no idea what length this really is. We're just going to make a little guy. If I did a full-sized camel, if I did a full-sized camel, it'd be here for absolutely ever. So I'm just going to bend the wire into my traditional small H shape. This is going to be a very basic camel for sure. Two end shapes, stick them together, twist, and there we have body and legs. Oh, and guess who stopped taking antihistamines and shouldn't have done? That would be me. Right. So I'm going to take some aside to make sure I leave enough for a head and a hump. The hump's super important for a camel. Just going to take little pinches off and just make some legs. Yeah, so how is everybody today? Literally nothing to report on yesterday because the weirdest thing, I'm not complaining, but I'm kind of complaining. I mentioned yesterday, I think, about my little test. Now, this is the thing. When I'm doing tests for Etsy, for like how to grow my shop, the problem is, you know, I'm doing stuff like right now, what's working at Christmas, but I've got to run the test. So Christmas will be past. Christmas season is kind of past. So unfortunately, I'm going to make the video in January, which will be kind of too late for this year. But my doing the test of relisting items rather than doing Etsy ads is working far too good. Yesterday, I had about 5 orders from the one item. Literally every time it was just, I was renewing it, it just sold again. And I was just going crazy. So I've put the prices up and hopefully slowed that down because they're not going to get it in time for Christmas now. I can't help that. I sat and I made everything super quickly last night because it's one of my made to order but not custom made items. But yeah, it totally blew up. So I will do that video in January, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. If you have, well, I was gonna say, actually, it's probably too late. Don't don't even try it for like Christmas gifts, because even if people buy it just now, you're just gonna get nasty comments going, where's my stuff? And there's nothing any of us can do about making it come in time. But just letting you know, just giving you an advanced heads up that on an item that is popular when it's seen, not just renewing absolutely everything. I don't think that would be a good thing. But on an item that's popular when it's actually seen, it really does work to renew a few times just to get it. Just to get it to the front page, just to get it seen, just to get it seen by your followers and everything. And then yeah, that does give it that little help. Okay, so I'm just going to felt this down a little bit. Oh, Serena, I'm watching while I'm sat in the car in Argos car park while the other half is getting loads of presents. Oh, great. Well, good to see you and hopefully keep you company then. I didn't realize our Argos just now is only open for pickups. You can't actually go in and shop in Argos. But for those in the US and Australia and everywhere else in the world, I don't know if Argos is a common thing. It's a how do you call it? It's like a catalog store. You go in and you browse a catalog, or you browse a catalog or online and find the things you want and you order it up and it's called up out of the warehouse. You don't touch the products until you've bought them pretty much. But just now the shop isn't closed, but you have to order online and come and click and collect rather than actually browse in the shop. But I believe, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Oh, it's only Wednesday today. But yes, from Friday, my area is coming out of the strongest lockdown, so we're going to get a little more freedoms, but it won't make any difference to me. Oh, the terrible jokes. Tobias, one hump camel is a dromedary. Words already. Two hump camel is a bacterian, and what do you call a three hump camel? Humphrey. Or hump three. Tobias they don't have Argos in Australia. Oh, Serena, Argos is in Sainsbury's, so he's having to queue outside the store as well. Oh, brave him. Especially with Argos, I would just get it delivered. I have no patience for queuing, especially, well, it's not a horrible day today, but it's just a nondescript. It's kind of cold, it's kind of overcast, it's kind of meh. But I am going to have to, after I finish here, I've got a metric ton of little parcels to get off to the post office. And then I'll get the dog for a little walk, because we didn't get anything yesterday because the ka-chings were getting in the way. I just had to keep on making and making and making. I'm not going to felt this guy super firmly because you've all seen me do this. And this camel, I've used camel fibers in the past and it was quite coarse. This is super soft. This is baby camel. This is really nice. Not quite the soapy feel of alpaca, if anyone's felted with that, but it's a really nice soft fabric. And it's felting together into something pretty smooth pretty quickly. Let's see how we get on with that. So, what other things apart from an overboiled Brussels sprout, which is revolting? What else would you make with this gorgeous camel color? Um, I mean, obviously, it's not just camel colored; it's camel fibers. So, yeah, obviously, a camel sprung to mind. And yeah, I could get all sorts of a sort of nativitiness out of this, maybe. But hopefully, we can manage in not too long to make some type of a camel. Um, so again, I would felt this a whole lot firmer, and I will come back and cover and go over it more. But just now, got body and legs, and just bending them over to make a little body shape. That's the benefit of going this kind of size, which I mean that's maybe about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches length in body. And these tiny sizes I do, it's my second smallest size. I don't offer the smallest size anymore because even I stabbed my fingers too much going much smaller than this. But a kind of 3-inch size I find really cute, and you kind of get away with not having to be too detailed. It doesn't have to be perfect because of the size, and it still looks cute. Whoops. Oh no, Serena, you wanted all your stuff delivered, but none of the stuff was in stock for delivery. So you had to drive 10 miles and collect it from a different store. Oh, that is a total pain. Um, Diana, I'm late. I thought you'd make a camel. How did I guess? No imagining. I couldn't think of anything offhand. I was just like, brown? What do we do with brown? Oh, Lisa, yes, Teddy. It would make a really cute teddy bear because it is fluffy and very soft, but also felts quite well. I imagine if I spent a whole load of time on this, it would felt down quite dense. That basically, like alpaca, I find alpaca takes a very long time to felt. This is going quite quick. It takes a long time to felt, but it felt really dense. I feel this would felt down to denseness in pretty much no time. I am not going to go too detailed with the camel's face. I was just trying to remember what a camel looked like. We're just going to do something cute, and the hump will speak for itself. So we have a body, whoops, which legs aren't the same length. I'll sort that out later. He just fell over when I tried to make him stand up. So then I'm going to just make a head of sort of a tube. It's going to be narrower at one end and fatter at the other. Camels. I'm trying to remember if they have that kind of open lip sort of thing that alpaca and those kind of creatures have. I can't remember. And again, not that I'm going to be making teeth or anything on it, but I think a lot of these kind of creatures only have lower teeth, don't they? And they bite against their gums. I'm probably making stuff up. But a couple of years ago, when where my mum lives, there's a really nice little kind of farm shop, and they have all their free range chickens right outside, which is lovely. But they also have some some animals that are just there for you to go and look at. It's not even like a petting zoo. They just have the animals. They have uh, a couple, well, 3 heel and coo, I think. It was a mum, dad, and a baby. And they have 3 male alpaca, and they let us go out and look at them. And I did actually, they'd sheared them, and I bought a bag of, I think it was Hamish. And I was going to make actual kits to make an alpaca out of the alpaca fleece, but processing it took forever, and I just didn't get around to it. Tobias posted your first Etsy USA sale in 4 years, a tiger face latch hook rug. Oh, awesome. Well, congrats, you're getting seen in the US. That's good. And yeah, I love the idea of a tiger face latch hook rug. That sounds really nice. Wow, I hope it gets there in a serious amount of time. Tobias again. Bifurcate lips are normal in camelids. I assume that means the split is two. I've got that. So yeah, I was right. And only lower teeth. You're a llama nut and know about these critters. And Diana says, you ask a question and up comes the answer. It's magic. Exactly. That's the fun of a live stream. It's like I don't have to even go to Google. I just go, viewers, let me know. Yeah, I've never met a camel in real life. Never seen a camel, but I've seen llama and alpaca and things like that. And it's, yeah, as I was saying, at the farm shop when we met the three alpaca boys, and yeah, grown up alpaca male fiber is not as nice as baby alpaca. Definitely not. Um, so I'm making a very basic head shape here, by the way. The fleece isn't as nice, but she was going out to feed them. The boys really like kale. So she was going to feed them some kale. So I got a close-up look at how their mouths work. And the other interesting thing, because they were super, super cute. Obviously, alpaca are the kind of fluffy llamas. But she was pointing out very much, and you could see it. The boys were like, they enjoyed their food and they could tolerate people, but they did not want petted. Um, so they would kind of come up, but you could see like if they were having to get too close to people to get their food, the ears were going back and stuff. And it's like, yeah, let's leave them alone. But they loved their kale, and it was weird watching their kind of lips open, open sideways as well to suck in the kale. But they are very cute up close. And yes, I saw just how the teeth worked. It was very weird. But the Heelan coos, I think Morag was the mummy coo, and she was quite friendly. She was coming right up to the fence and everything, but yeah, I still patting Heelan coos is a little bit scary because we've got in past years there have been, I think I've probably said this before, we've had to, in Scotland they've had to put up signs and everything in a lot of places because tourists were getting killed. I'm not even kidding, because tourists would see the cute little baby Highland cow and go, "Oh, I want a picture with that," and go and basically try and stand between the mother and the baby to get their picture. And the mother would be like, "You do know I weigh over a ton and I have horns bigger than your leg, and you're playing with my baby. Let's not do this." So yeah, people go, "Oh, and they're cute and fluffy." It's a giant cow with a stabby head. So yeah, don't play with the babies. All right, we have very randomly not very good head, but it's as good as we're getting just now. I still think this is going to work out kind of cute. Tobias, I'm loving this, getting camel fact, right? this section of today's show is Camel Fact, brought to us by Tobias. Camels are wonderful to pat and have gorgeous eyes and lashes. Yep, absolutely. I don't think I'm going to have room to do the wonderful eyelashes, but yes, camels, definitely. I've seen that. And pat a llama and alpaca and the lower neck and upper body. Avoid the upper neck and head. Yeah, that sounds fair to me. But these boys were definitely like, look but don't touch. They were very cute, but a little bachelor trio. They were totally not for being patted, which is fine. I don't feel the need to pat every animal that I see. Sometimes it's just nice to chill out and spend a bit of time next to them. Oh, Diana, I was lucky enough to go to the Pushkar Camel Fair in India last year. They can be a bit unpredictable. Yeah, I've seen the spitty videos of them. I think all the, was it camelids were called? I think all of them are a bit spitty. Llamas definitely so. I've actually got a friend, but I've not. She lives the other side of the country. We've been walks, but I've never been to her farm. They're on a sheep farm, but they got, yeah, I'm sure it's alpaca. They got alpaca to protect the sheep. I don't think they actually protect the sheep. And we don't really have any critters here that are a danger to the sheep apart from humans. I think llamas can be a bit more protective, but alpacas are just kind of nosy. When things come, they're just like, "Hi, what are you? Are you interesting?" And she also does have, they have a Highland coo called Ruby. Followed the progress of Ruby all the way. They got her as a baby on the farm, and she nearly didn't make it. She was super ill, and they raised her with. They had a couple of can't remember what you call the pet sheep. That's the word, where the mother sheep either dies or doesn't want to look after her baby, and they don't have anyone they can adopt it out to, so the pet sheep come inside and are hand raised. So Ruby was hand raised with some pet sheep, and one of them, they were like bestest friends, and sadly the sheep died a couple of years back, and Ruby was really upset and missed her wee friend. It was super sad. But lovely that she had her friend for, so a cow and a sheep, bestest buddies. But yeah, she's definitely a wee character, and quite often my friend gets sent pictures that people have seen, that some kind of hiker or something was walking around, and randomly this cute cow came up to the fence and posed, was like, "Hello, do you have treats?" So there's lots of pictures of Ruby because she's just so friendly. Erica, what needle do you use? Mine's not working. This is a 36 or a 38. This is like my most stabby needle without being actually mega stabby. But if you're having trouble with any of the fibers, what you could do, it can super help. Just wrap core first of all, get that started, and then put this on top. I'm finding this is felting like a dream, but any fibers that are a bit difficult, wrap some core and then top dress with this. And then the core sticks. It makes it a whole lot easier. But yeah, it's a triangle needle, and I think it's a 36. It's probably a 38. Oh, Diana, wonderful photos of the unpredictable camels. Yeah. I got a photo from many years ago. My granddad, he traveled the world in the merchant navy, and there's lots of pictures of him doing all sorts of things, and there is him and a few of his friends out on a some of them are on camels and some of them are on donkeys and everything. He had such an exotic life before he settled down and became a dad and then a granddad. But also, hilariously enough, he did work a merchant navy. I believe the stories were that the ships he was on, he was like the only Scottish guy, and it was like an Indian ship. But he doesn't eat. He never eats any foreign food ever. So I think he like survived on rice pudding. Even like we would take him to Indian restaurants and stuff, and he would order an omelette. But he traveled the world in like ships where he was the only British person. So yeah, I don't know how he managed that, but yeah. Tobias, llamas are used as protective animals for sheep down under. They usually don't spit. Remember, the llama that spits at you on Monday is Friday's feast. Oh, great. Right. I will say probably either adding a bit of wire or using a bit of core to pop the neck on. It is a bit soft, but it's totally getting there. But I'm needing to felt this quite a bit to get it kind of working. But having said that, it's come together fairly quick. And I do remember that camels definitely have little tails. Would be cool to have a bit of pipe cleaner, but I don't. So I'm just gonna. With this size, sort of everything's more an impression than a actual worrying about making it look really good. So I remember they have tails, sort of well, not baldy tails, short hair on the length of their tails, and then a little tufty at the end, kind of like an elephant. Am I making that up? I could search for pictures of camels, or I could just ask the team, ask the clan. Am I right in remembering what a camel's tail looks like? So at the minute, I've kind of rolled it a little too fat, and I'm leaving an end fluffy. I don't usually get felters. Let me know. So often in tutorials and everything, I always hear, when they're joining other bits, people say, "Oh, and leave a fluffy bit here for the join," and I never do that. Well, I say never. I don't often do that. I find just felt the shape fairly firmly, and then it all just felts together fine. Lisa, yeah, feeling educated in all things camel. Thank you, Tobias. Oh, and for the camel emoji, that's cool. I can get a look at what shape it's supposed to be. But yeah, I've got an okay from Tobias that I'm right about the tail, and Diana thinks so as well. So we have a tail with a fluff to go on his bum. Obviously, where else would the tail go? So this is going to be a really basic camel shape, but I think, yeah, certainly if you were felting this time of year, if we were going to be felting a nativity, I can see the wise men, all the characters would be like your Waldorf type things, it would probably look cuter without too much details. So having the animals without too much details as well is kind of cool. Right. Gonna add a hump, and then I'm gonna add some ears, and then we're kind of nearly there. And I still have quite a lot of this fiber left. And definitely if you did, oh, it's getting up my nose though. If you did with core wool and then felted it on, did this as a top dressing, you could make a couple of camels, or I think this might make a kind of good start for a donkey as well, with other colours as well. Although I tend to think of donkeys as grey. I don't think they totally are. But there, once you get a hump on, there's no mistaking it's supposed to be either a very deformed dog or a camel. I've never finished making a camel. I got the World of Wool camel kit a couple of years ago, and it looked amazing. I loved the idea of the kit. And there's so much details to make his a little rug to go on him and everything like that. But I just couldn't get to grips with the kit, which really annoyed me because I was super looking forward to making it. But I probably just wasn't in the mood as well. Tobias, yeah, you never leave the ends fluffy either, just join with the blob. Absolutely. That's it. You can just put a bit of fuzz in between the two and it does the same job. I'm glad it's not just me. That seemed to be like the tradition. This is how you have to felt, and I just never did. Are we getting a camely vibe? I think I'm getting a camely vibe. His head is far too large for everything else, but that just makes him cute. Right, camel ears. Do camel ears go up or are they kind of back? I can't remember. Right, for our we need to go over to our camel correspondent now to find out what camel ears are like. Do camels have upright ears or pushy back ears? Pretty sure they don't have floppy ears. And then we just have few extra details and we're done. I am actually going to Google a picture of a camel just because that's the wonder of the internet. Okay, yeah, so of course the neck comes out a little bit further, like I say, and they have tiny sort of upright ears. There we go. That's already feeling more camel-y. Yeah, they have long necks that I totally forgot about. Yay. Okay, that's cool already. Tobias, the ears are up between an alpaca and a llama, and Diana saying they're uppish and towards the side, and Erica's very round, small ears. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Yes, putting the neck out suddenly feels all the more camely. Yeah, it's much easier to make something if you have a reference photo than if you're just winging it like how I started this. So when you're making the camel, do a camel neck. Don't just imagine what it's like. So yeah, this fiber, it's felting quickly-ish, but it was definitely still pliable after I've been felting it for quite a bit of time. So it's going to take a bit of felting to make anything firm. So I would definitely use a bit of core with this just to get it a little bit firmer. I also see in the pictures when I pulled them up that the camels are quite chunky. They've got quite a belly going on. So we'll see about adding that once I've got the ears and stuff on. See about actually making a bit more of the shape. Right, he's definitely fairly soft, but camelish, camel adjacent. But yeah, 2 little easy puffs to make little ears. I think even smaller than that. It's just going to be the impression of ears. Diana, thank heavens for Google Images. Absolutely. Anytime you want to make any animal that you haven't done before, Google Images. And the superest tip, if it's something really different, like when I was felting a frog for the first time, Google for the skeleton of the animal, and if you get the skeleton, just size it up to the size you want and make your armature based on that skeleton, and your animal will be in reasonably good proportions. But yeah, it makes such a difference. But yeah, Google is so fantastic because literally you can, within 2 seconds, rather than me going, what kind of lips do the camel have? You can get pictures of the face of the camel. You can get pictures of all angles of the camel or any animal you want. And I do that so often. As you know, most of my work is commissions of people's pets. And even though I'm very specific about what I ask, I'm like standing side on photos, clear images of their face, all the good stuff. I'm clear about what I want, but often people will put cute pictures of their dogs that show their character and stuff, which is awesome. But I kind of then have to Google image for the breed to be like, yeah, how long is the back on this dog when it's actually stood up? What are differences about this breed from other animals? I'm kind of giving this camel sort of teddy bear ears, but that'll be good. Tobias, I swear by my reference photos, then swear at my rubbish sculpture. I am sure they're not rubbish at all. Yeah, that's kind of teddy bear ears. I don't think that's quite right. Let's get back to the reference. It kind of is, actually. They're a little more pointy than teddy bear, but yeah, that is roughly what it looks like. And yes, they have the interesting lip shape of the alpaca. So I'm going to try. Firstly, I'm felting a straight line around the muzzle for the bottom lip. Let's see how this works. Hopefully it'll work. Oh, if you can hear, that is Mia making herself known. Oh, now it looks like a sort of goofy calf. Don't know how that shows up. And then I'm going to felt up that divide in the lip. And if it needs more to make it more puffy, then I can add some. Oh, and then I'm making a V for the nose. I'm pretty sure that's how they are. Whoops. I always drop these things. It's really super hard to show you that, but I can even, yes. So wait a sec. So there's the nose, and then ooh, camera. There we go. There's the nose, and I felted a straight line across for the mouth, and then good tutorials this, and then a straight line up. That looks like a builder's bum just now. And then woo, felting. Oh, that doesn't help. But anyway, felting away. And what I would be wanting is these that way. These two areas. Want them to kind of poof out a little bit, to make his lippiness. It's much easier to do this on a slightly larger scale, but it's kind of working. And if you need to, you can add more fabric to make it poof a little more. But that's not exactly what their faces look like, but it gives an impression of it, which is good enough. I will show you in a minute. It's hard to do close-ups of this kind of thing. It kind of looks a little bit more like a lion at the minute, to how the mouth's gone as well. Does that show? It does. It looks more fluffy on the camera. Looks a little bit like I've got a really good lion cub head now. Right, back to the reference. What have I? Yeah, it wants more. There's a bit more height to the top of the nose. Still looks like a lion. Oh, brilliant! Bit more height to the top of the nose. And it kind of, the face is not going to be very camel-y, but the bottom lip does project over a bit as well. So I'm just going to take 2 small pinches to make more of these cheekness. Look at me all concentrating and being quiet. Okay, and then I was going to give him some belly. They do have really long, skinny necks as well. Oh, my microphone's fluctuating. Oh, you behave. That's a new mic. Check it's all plugged in okay. That's what happened one of the last times. All looks good. Only for a short while. Maybe what's happening when I'm going onto a different page on the internet that's causing the issue. I'll try that just now, right? Let me know. You can't see it, but just now I'm on the page that's streaming. That's where I can see all the chat and everything. And now I'm on the page with the camel. I'm looking at the picture of the camel. I'm not looking at you. How rude of me. I'm not looking at you guys. And then I'm back again. Does that do the fluctuaty thing? Okay, camel face is not great. I'm just going too quickly and too fuzzy just now. So I'm just gonna kind of hide that a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to make him a little fat, so I'm taking even size pinch at each side and just going to put it in sort of between his legs, between his front and back legs, where the sides of the belly poofs out on obviously both sides as well, just to give them that bit more of a fat belly. Erica's saying it's okay here, no difference here. Oh, it's when I lean back and forwards. Okay, I'm probably hitting the mic a little bit. It's not a very good shock mount. That's what I'll have to look into for next year, getting a decent shock mount for the mic. Because don't pay good money on a mic and then mount it on something cheap and rubbish. When I say it's not like a super expensive mic, it's just the most expensive mic that I've ever had, because the last one was making me sound like a robot. Oh, this camel's definitely been feeding himself up over winter. Just sculpting that shape down to be a little rounded and trying to smooth it off a little bit. Oh, and yeah, you're hearing it when it go funny when I reach down to get more fiber. I think it must be doing when I hit it when I'm wobbling the table or something. I will, as I say, I will look into a better mic stand next year. That'll be my treat to myself. Okay. It definitely looks camely. It's cute. Right. I need some black for some eyes. And where did I put my black fiber? Oh, I've got such a pile of wool all sitting here. And sorry if that's killing the mic, but what can you do? I can't buy the mic stand yet. So sorry if headphone wearers especially. Sorry. I'm just taking a pinch, rolling it into a ball. And just like whatever I was making straight lines for the other day, if you put a bit of pressure, bit of heat from your fingers, that'll kind of make it, it's not quite felted, but it is kind of holding together. Um, and the eyes are on the side of the head back a little bit, because camels are prey rather than predator. And I could, we're too fuzzy for it just now, but definitely giving them top eyelids, giving them eyelashes, absolutely gorgeous. But we have the gist of a shape with a lion cub head and teddy bear ears. I will, just because I like to, do the tiny pinch of white in the eyes to make them glint in light and look less dead. I think eyelids would make a big difference, but to get all the details in the head, I would have to felt. It's just a little bit of white, by the way. Yeah, I would have to felt this much more firmly, so that all the details show up nicely. So this is just the impression of a camel rather than a camel. But not bad for like half an hour, I think. And I can't wait to see what you guys make with all the extra time. But yes. And did anyone expect that today I was going to be making a camel lion teddy bear hybrid? I bet no one guessed that. Diana, what an international conversation. Australia, Holland, Scotland. Exactly. It's lovely. Erica, my legs are too short. You can just add a little bit of fluff to the end of the legs. I have to do that all the time. Or if you used a pipe cleaner, it's not so easy. This wire is a bit firmer, but you can kind of pull them a bit, and the wire does straighten out a little bit. And Diana's saying my legs are too short as well. They are indeed, because we're making something cute and dumpy rather than an exact representation. If I was obviously a bigger size, then yeah, look at the proportions and everything. Just that's annoying me on the camera. There is variation in colors. So what can happen sometimes when you have a variated wool is there's a little lump of a different color that you didn't want, like a little bit of white at the top. That's still showing through. It actually shows on the camera more than in real life, but it was bugging me. There we go. Oh, Tobias, it looks great. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Lisa, the eyelashes are a prominent feature. Yep. On a bigger size, that's relatively easy. You just take. There is really no way I can do it on this scale neatly. But you can just take a small amount of black tops and kind of felt in a tiny little bit coming out from the top of the eyelid and then trim it to size. And it does make a huge difference. Or, I mean, I have heard people use fake eyelashes. Why not? Especially, I mean, you can buy them super cheap nowadays. Tobias, they have a slotted pupil. Ooh, hang on, I've got to look up that now. The pictures I'm seeing just now, the eyes are so dark that I can't really tell. I think part of the problem with his nose is it's just too short. I'm just stretchability of all of this. I'm wondering if I could just quickly make an eyelid and see how that'll work, because their eyes are so prominent. So I just want to make top eyelids, which is tiny pinches, folded in half, and then felt down the fold to make the straight bit of your eyelid. So I just have a little folded over bit and make it flatter than that. No, I really can't do eyelashes at this scale. But I'm just felting that over the eye just to give a little more prominent sort of top of the eye ridge. It's ridiculously fuzzy, so I can't really show you this the best, but you get the idea. And that's where you would put the eyelashes in a larger or a firmer scale. But you can see there's a kind of ridge there. I just the face is just annoying me. But yeah, don't start making a creature before you've actually looked at what it looks like. Don't just wing it off the top of your head and then try and change your mind over how it's going to be. But I think we're very nearly done anyway. Just putting the second eyelid on. And that does make a difference for the head. It accentuates the fact that the eyes are around the side rather than straight forward, because if this was an actual lion cub, then his eyes would be straight forward. And yeah, I would probably, if I was doing it again, I would use wire for the neck, because it's a little bit of a longer neck than a usual critter of this sort of size. But yes, the eyelids definitely helped. The excuses, but because I'm using strong lights, it picks up all the little dimples and everything. So it actually does look better in real life than it does on camera, which is annoying me because I keep like looking and go, no, need to change that, need to change that. Whereas actually looking at it, it looks fine. But anyway, it's kind of a camel. All right, guys. I could spend another 2 hours felting this. I certainly, this would not be I would never do a sculpture that takes like less than an hour as something to sell. It's not well felted or anything, but if you're just making something for yourself, then yeah, it's cute and fun. And if it's just going to be a little ornament on the shelf, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Ooh. My computer just beeped something. Right, I shall put him into his position. kind of running out of space back here. And give you your usual couple of minutes just to say goodbye and hope you have an awesome day. Yeah, for me, like I said, it's just going to be packaging up some stuff. I will be kicking around in E-rank again, because that's like my job. And then packing up some of my stuff for the post office, getting out to the post office, little walk, and then back to felting. I've decided, I will let you guys know right now, I have decided that I won't be editing any of my proper videos just now. And we'll just keep doing the lives just because nobody's got time for anything. We will be back with the eatsy things hard in the new year. But if you have any questions about selling or anything, always ask in the chat. That's what I'm here for. Erica, yours looks like a baby. That sounds brilliant. Awesome. Diana, thank you. See you tomorrow. And you guys, thank you for giving up a little bit of your morning to be a bit creative with me, or evening in Tobias's Tobias's case. Tobias thoroughly enjoyed my opportunity to lecture. Hey, it's cool if you've got a passion about something and you're able to talk about it. I love that. I was able to get loads of facts and details. Erica, thanks. See you and have a nice day. Yeah. And Diana saying nice to meet you, Tobias. I know, it's lovely, a little growing community of clan. No, I won't let you in on that little secret yet, but something might be happening soon. Okay, anyway, you guys have an awesome day.